and the rhetoric, right? So when you see that, and then let's say it was conversely, BLM, Black Lives Matter, or whatever, and then you see the title that says thugs, degenerates.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But then you see this, you see patriots and Americans. So it's like, how do you?
Sure, yeah.
And I think that's like the part that causes like that huge divide. It's it's media is personally responsible for that too. It's like, how they title this shit.
100%.
Too.
Yeah.
It's like, why are these people also not thugs and degenerates?
Absolutely,
right?
100%.
Absolutely.
It's because it's easy. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. Nick is right now in Hawaii. Dude, just living it up and shit, dude.
Not giving a fuck.
I know.
Disrespectful,
Little
dude.
COVID fucking super spreader.
I know, fucking me.
I don't trust that guy, dude.
You and Nick are the only ones in the group that haven't gotten COVID
it yet. I don't. Yeah, right. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
you,
unknown.
Pat, Bart, Akko hasn't. I don't think Akko hasn't.
I think Akko has the cure. Dude.
Yeah,
That's why.
Yeah,
I mean,
the vaccine.
Akko's taking like 3 billion tests too, and he like posts every time he gets a test, he's like 10-0,
Like, I've seen
11-0.
videos like 10-0, like it's a fucking fight record and shit. 10-0, brother.
Yeah, you kiss Akko if you have COVID, that shit goes away for 100%, bro.
I've been trying to stay extra safe. Like after when we had the COVID scare, like I've kind of just been low key.
It only takes one fucking person. It's literally one person. There's always somebody you trust too. Bart Wuhan Kwan.
What's weird is how it hits certain people, but not others.
Bruh,
Like,
trust me. When Pat got it, I thought we were all gonna have it. I was like, oh, I fucking got it because I sparred with Pat. We all that shit like that, and I didn't get it. And I was like, how the fuck did I not get it? Like it's so weird.
It's interesting where
Which I'm thankful that we didn't get it.
I was reading a bunch of articles. Apparently, the time that you can get it the most is when somebody is very symptomatic.
Yeah.
So you weren't symptomatic yet.
no.
So
Like we made out.
The chances are.
Yeah, it was chill.
He literally socked me in my retina. So I was like, I for sure have it. I remember your glove touching my eye and it went back in. I'm like, oh man, I got this shit for sure.
But ever since then, I've just kind of been just chilling at home, playing video games, and I haven't been working out, which kind of sucks. But I think kind of now,
I'm all scared and shit. They have the new strand from the England one or whatever.
Yeah, the UK.
It's like 70% more.
Yeah.
It's what 70% more likely to get it.
Yeah,
Contagious. It's more contagious.
bro.
And something like it affects kids now too. That's like the thing now too, where everyone's like, oh.
Yeah, because they had it in the UK and then I think like in the East Coast, and then they found some in Colorado, and then they have one case here in California that they found. Which is I don't know how they know which one's which.
I don't know either, bro.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know
California
shit.
wild right now too, bro. It's like people just can't like wear masks. They just can't follow this shit. It's like, bro, I want to live normal again. And like I understand people get mad they don't want to wear these masks and shit, but if we just would have listened in the beginning, we'd probably be in a better spot right now.
You about to get that vaccine though?
We were just talking. We were just talking about that outside too.
This motherfucker's
All right, so here's my thing about the vaccine,
What's
right?
the thing with the vaccine? Go.
So I was literally, because Pat, the first thing me and Pat talked about this, right when I saw him, he's like, you can get the vaccine. So I understand in the sense of people that are like, oh, I'm not getting the vaccine, la la. I only in the sense of I don't want to take it first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Like I'd rather like let people take it because I haven't gotten sick, right? And I stay pretty safe. Like I feel like I do a pretty good job. I don't do anything. David gave me a bunch of N95 masks. I got those. One of my clients just gave me a shit ton today, so I only wear those now. And so like I'm trying to stay super safe. But like I want if that shit like turned you into like a mutant and shit, I ain't try to take it first.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? Like
It's been pretty. I mean, every vaccine has their side effects, right? But I think it's pretty tried and true where they go through enough clinical trials. Well, I'll trust it enough, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that there's over like 400,000.
Because people are saying some
trials.
funny shit where they're like, I guess
so.
like somebody put up an article that a nurse took the vaccine, right?
Yeah, and she passed out.
And then she got COVID, and I'm like, well, there's 2 stages of it.
Yeah,
so
right.
You didn't get the full vaccine, so you caught COVID.
Yeah.
Which vaccines don't prevent you from getting the thing 100%. It just allows you to fight it off a lot better than other people, right? So I think people don't understand what vaccines are for. So it's like when you get the flu, every time I get the flu shot, I'm sick for like 2 days.
Yeah.
you know, and so people have been getting it. They're like, I don't feel good. Like you get that with the flu shot too. Like I got the flu
aren't they
shot.
like putting it? They're actually putting the sickness
virus
in you,
into
right?
you. Yeah.
And that's why I saw that too. And then I saw a bunch of comments on it. They're like, well, yeah, because it's a 2-part thing. He only took the first one.
Yeah.
So of course,
if you take one, you can still get it.
Yeah.
But this one, there's 2 vaccines, and one of them apparently isn't the diseases in it. It's like a protein from the disease. It like teaches your body how to like fight against the particular protein. I don't know. This is way above my fucking head. But that's what someone said to me, and I was like, I'm gonna say
this and like that,
and try to sound smart, dude. mRNA. But my buddy is a firefighter too. One of his coworkers took the first one and got COVID in between the second one. You need both. You need both to fucking be effective. But to your logic, it's like, like motherfuckers hold out on PS5s and Xbox.
Yeah.
You know, the new Xboxes, new PS5, people are like, I'm gonna wait a little bit. The first ones are always a little defunct.
Exactly.
What's it called? Nurses and doctors are already getting it now.
So. See, they're getting it, and if I'm not scared to take it, but
Alex
I just like
supports Trump. Anti-vaxxer.
I should be over there right now in that building.
He's got the camo hat on, ready to rock.
I know. Huh? No,
you look scared though, bro.
How much? Hey, if I don't need to take it, please don't.
You look like you sweat a bit though,
bro. No, straight up. Like I probably should, but I never get the flu shots. I never do any of that stuff.
Just get COVID
resume,
like me and Pat, dude. We got the vaccine.
Just get it. Exactly. From the source.
We good for like another 2-3 months. We fine.
Low key, like I kind of wish I would have got it from one of you guys already, so I could be like
it
done
sucked
with
though,
it.
man. It was
But,
not
like I don't want to get it because I see clients who are old and all that type of shit. So like I don't want to get it, but like also I'm like, fuck, I wish I can just, if I knew like I wasn't gonna get fucked up like real bad, I wish I could just get it and get it over with.
It's not a very pleasant thing though, I tell you that. Just because like, number one, there's no way to make sure that your headache subsides. Like usually if I had the flu or whatever, I take Tylenol, I could feel my fever drop or whatever, and then my headache kind of goes away. This shit, none of that stuff works. You're just riding it out.
Damn. So NyQuil or nothing even worked for you?
No, I was just like, well, I didn't have I had fever for like a day. Okay. But then I had this crazy, it felt like my nose cavity was completely cleared out through my brain. Like, so every time I breathed in, it smelled like I was breathing in like Tiger Balm.
Did it hurt too?
Wow.
Like when you
so my sinus area all the way through here was hurting for like 3 days. So my brain felt like it was frying.
Oh, damn.
So those first 3 days, like, I mean, I was still making jokes. That's because who I am. But I was in pain, bro. And then when the lower back pain started happening, the hip pain started happening.
That's the bad shit. Yeah.
Which sucked because I was like, hey, as long as I'm going to start shadow boxing, I couldn't even do that.
Dude, yeah.
Like, see, I don't even think I know because my low back always hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. I've been getting COVID, man.
No, but I remember like a lot, like mentally, right? Like it shows how like strong, like your mind can be on you sometimes. Like when we had the first one, like I was home and literally I started feeling like fucking sick. I was like, but I didn't feel sick. Like all of a sudden.
Let me tell you something. After you had COVID, this motherfucker was tripping out, man.
Really?
This dude was tripping the fuck out. He goes, man, I got this shit. I can feel it.
I got tested 3 times and I was negative each time. But the last test, like literally it was weird. It was like right when I got the last test and it was like negative, like it felt like a light switch. Like all of a sudden I felt like 100%.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, then.
All right.
Hey, I'm good then, actually.
That actually probably was the best part about, for me, getting it, was the relief of like, all right, the little tingle in my throat. Like I used to be like you too, where I was like, fuck, I got it. Everyone I know is going to die. I just killed my mom. Like I would think crazy shit.
Yeah.
But now the shit only lasts like, they think 3 months, right? The antibodies, or they don't know.
Yeah. It's about 3 months.
I think so.
And then I'm for sure going to get the vaccine just because I know what COVID felt like. I can't go through that again.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like straight up, because it's not available just to go get right now, is it?
No, it'll probably be like summer.
Yeah, so like when it's available, I mean, I'll take it. You know, my mom's in like healthcare worker. I mean, I might take it. I mean, but I'm probably not gonna take it.
You
but
sound
like,
so nervous right now. I've never
I'll take it. I'll take it. But no, with the antibody shit's true because my brother tested for COVID and the antibodies a while back, and he was positive for the antibodies. And then he just told me, I talked to him, when was it, like a month ago? He said he got retested and he didn't have the antibodies anymore. Oh, really? So it was about 3 months in between, and then he didn't have the antibodies anymore. So he could possibly re-get it. Yeah, so
my buddy, one of my buddies, he's an actor friend of mine. He had COVID and I didn't know. And so he messaged me on Instagram. He was like, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? I was like, I mean, I'm good, man. Like, I fought it off. He goes, I had it 4 months ago. I was like, oh shit, how are you doing now? He goes, honestly, I'm still fucked.
Oh, really?
Like, wow. One of the things that I noticed that I still have now is my energy is not the same.
Oh, really?
So I take naps now. Like I never take naps. Like it's weird. Like I get
Whoa.
sleepy, and I also it's hard for me to wake up now. So I usually just wake up at like 9 a.m. no matter what time I sleep. Today I woke up at 12. Well, I got kind of smashed yesterday, but that's, that might be a little have to do with it too. But yeah, never mind. No, let's cut that part out. But like my energy levels aren't the same, so I get tired a lot faster. Which I've been trying to like kind of fight through it, but it's kind of weird how sleepy I get.
You know what I think plays a part in that as well too is probably us not training as much as we used to.
Well, for sure, you know.
Yeah, you know.
My other buddy, the biggest thing that he has memory loss.
What?
Like,
fuck that
he
shit. That's
doesn't
scary.
remember. I know 2 people who had memory loss, and he doesn't remember shit from like 3 months ago, and another buddy of mine doesn't remember shit for like 4 or 5 months.
Damn, fuck
What
that.
the fuck?
That-
Like nothing
see,
at
that's
all.
the
Like
stuff
it's
that's
just
scary
gone.
to
Like
me.
things are all fuzzy. So if you like,
Wow.
and I started cracking up. Well, he didn't find this funny, but I was like, I was like, what if you lost your memory from like 4 years back, and then I tell you like Trump's president right now? This goes like, nah, you fucking with me. I'm like, nah, for real, bro. Like Trump's president, but people, I guess, like it's weird. Like you don't really think about what that makes somebody feel like because it's all a joke until you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Because for me, I mean, I took it serious. I wore the mask. I socially distanced, except for one time I went to a party. You know, I got fucked up with that.
Hey, at least you got to see Mike Tyson back in action, baby.
I know, which was fucking dope.
That was dope as fuck.
Yeah. No, that it's
Worth it,
scary.
worth
Like
it.
I don't want to get it, and it just sucks because
You gonna get it,
just
dude.
always stressing about it.
Alex,
Like,
I tell you, I got it right now, dude.
I might shit already.
We got
I
your
got
ass.
Pellegrino though, so we good.
Let's go kill
The
shit.
vitamins
go
and the
kill it.
Pellegrins,
Yeah.
baby.
No, it's
set
Did
you
you see
up.
the fucking Jake Paul is now calling out all these UFC fighters?
yeah.
Oh, really?
It's the It's
More?
the oddest. Well, he called out. So his management or whatever reached out to Ben Askren and also reached
saw
out to
that.
Mike Bisping.
Oh,
Bro,
I heard about. I
Mike
thought they
Bi-
were gonna box. I heard Bisping and him were gonna like. Weren't they
It was
working on
put
that?
out there.
I heard Mike Bisbing was like, "I'll do it. Let's fucking
Bisping
do
will
it."
fuck his ass
Of
up.
I know.
course.
Even with one eye, he'll
Yeah.
fuck his ass up.
100%.
Bro, with one eye, he fucked up some of the best fighters in the
In the
world.
world,
bro.
yeah.
It's like I wish, but you know they're gonna. Those guys are smart in that sense, where they're gonna do these fights that are just gonna make them money, and like they have at least a chance to win, right?
Like
I thought
Askren, he could probably.
Yeah, if it's
outbox
just
Askren.
boxing. But here, even on, we had talked about this before. Like even with Askren, I'm like, but Askren is an actual fighter.
That's
you know,
true,
he's
too.
a fighter.
Yeah, right.
So like, I don't even think Jake Paul just goes in there and just beats him up because
I don't think so
Askren's
either.
been hit.
And
He's been
also,
hit by
Askren,
people-
he's finally going to box somebody his size. They're
Exactly.
the same size.
Oh, really?
Because I think he's 6'1", and Askren's 6'1".
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you know he fought little fucking Nate Robinson.
Yeah,
you
what the
know
fuck?
that's never boxed a day in
Ever.
his life.
Mhm.
And he's 5'8". You know, it's like, come
Yeah.
on, bro.
I had some intel on that too. So because someone came into the shop and
Ooh.
after it was like a day after the fight happened, and I was kind of like low key kind of talking shit about not about Nate, but like about why the fuck he would even do it. And she started kind of looking weird, and I was like, "Oh, why did you watch it?" She's like, "Yeah, I actually work for Nate." I was like,
Oh,
"Oh
shit.
shit!" I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm just being real with you. Like, he should have not done this." Like, I was like, "How long did he train? Like, how long did he actually train for this fight?" She's like, "I don't know. It seemed like maybe only like 3 months." I'm like, "That's that.
Oh my
there's the
God.
issue."
Yeah, right.
I'm like, Jake Paul, at least, I mean, even though he's fighting YouTubers that don't know how to fight and shit like that, at least he's been training for over a year
Like 2 years,
and
around
he's
2
fought
years,
already.
yeah.
So he kind of knows that feeling already. I'm like, he has, and then I heard that he never even sparred in his camp. Nate Robinson.
That's
Never
fucking
sparred.
hilarious.
never even sparred. So, like, what do you expect's going to happen?
yeah, right.
That's
right,
he
right,
actually
right.
did pretty good. Then.
Jesus. yeah. He actually didn't do
But
bad.
I remember,
right?
telling someone, one of my friends, I'm like, they're like, how do you think the fight's going to go? I'm like, Nate Robinson's going to run in and just keep grabbing him.
Yeah.
He's never done this before. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what
crazy,
happened.
dude.
Then he got caught.
Well, this
so.
is the weird thing too. Like people are asking, I have no interest to see Jake Paul fight again. Like
Yeah.
I seen it once and I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't care. Like the main reason why I wanted to watch it was because of Mike Tyson and
Yeah,
Roy
no,
Jones
that's the
Jr.
only
Of
reason,
course.
you
That
know?
was the shit, bro. Mike Tyson looked
Yeah.
fucking
Dude,
fantastic.
was
did
cool.
you see a couple of shots? He pulled back. He was gonna
Oh,
go
yeah.
to the door.
Yeah,
He went,
yeah.
stop. I was like,
Yeah.
why'd you stop, Mike?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
could have killed him.
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah.
I was telling people that too. I'm like, it's like, because it was supposed to be an exhibition. There's not supposed to be any winner. There wasn't supposed to be any knockouts, right? And they got so much shit for it. And so they're like, okay, there'll be a winner, all this type of shit, right? But I'm like, you knew their plan because they had 2 belts made already.
Yeah.
So of course no one was gonna win. If it went to decision, of course it was gonna be a draw. So no one win.
It was already
Right.
evident when they were like interviewing Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. And they go, "So Mike, what do you think about the split decision?" I like it.
Yeah.
It's
I
great.
like it.
It's
I like it. I like it a lot.
It's great. I'm like, he didn't even finish the question, bro. It's perfect. It's exactly what no, I didn't plan it. Never mind.
This is what within the I mean, this is I'm just like, yeah, it was cool though to see. He did look good.
He looked good. The
For
slipping,
50?
like the like he was like on point with the
Yeah.
slips, and the body shots he landed were drastic as fuck.
Yeah.
He won clearly. He
Yeah.
won clearly.
Yeah,
And
he
you're
won.
right. He held back. He could have knocked him out, but that's like the evolution of Mike Tyson, which is
Yeah.
kind of dope to see. Like in his younger days, he would have fucking bit his fucking face off, and now he's like taking it easy.
You
You
could
know?
tell
Like,
to
it's
the
kinda nice.
body he was kind of giving it to him, maybe
Yeah.
like 90%. But the head, you could tell, my you could tell you're not throwing that shit
He
with
has
all power.
feelings now, dude, which
He
is
has
so
feelings.
weird. This
Yeah.
fool straight up said, he goes, Why is nobody
I know
worried
how-
about me? Why
Yeah.
nobody worried about he hasn't boxed in 15 years.
I know. He was all mad.
He got sad.
Yeah. He started playing a violin. He was literally upset that nobody was worried
know.
about him. I'm
Yeah.
like, Mike Tyson's a different man.
He's way different, bro.
But I mean, no one was worried about him because he like clearly won.
This podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? Well, guess what, my friends? BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. Listen, I have been doing online counseling for quite a while now, and it's something that is a part of my daily because I do realize that mental health is something that I need to exercise constantly, just like I do with my physical health. You know, a lot of the times we ignore the stuff that we have inside our head because we feel like it's either a sign of weakness, or that's how I felt anyways. But when I reached out for help and I had the counseling that I needed, that I wanted during the time that I needed, especially that I could do it at the comfort of my home, it just made it a lot easier and more accessible. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Visit their website and you could read their testimonies, and they're posted daily about people who love it. So listen, visit betterhelp.com/genius. That's better, HELP, and join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. And in fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp, they're recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. So special offer for my Genius Brain listeners. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/genius. That's betterhelp.com/genius today.
Yeah.
You know, like he clearly won, and I figured like watching him hit mitts, I'm like, oh, he still has
You know
it.
what the weird
Oh,
thing
yeah.
was? Like
Yeah.
Roy Jones's tactic for fighting or boxing Mike Tyson was that he was going to wear him out. But Roy Jones was way more tired
Oh,
than
of
Mike
course,
was.
Oh, yeah.
Mike didn't look exhausted at all.
At
Yeah.
all.
So his plan went out the fucking window. It's
Yeah.
like, yo, Mike's conditioning is better than mine.
Well,
Yeah.
that and the body shots. I
Oh,
mean,
the
those
body
body
shots
shots were
got him.
Oh, I know,
definitely
bro.
added up for sure.
But yeah,
Like a couple Mike Tyson body shots will deplete your fucking gas tank real quick, bro.
You could tell too, because like even I know I saw an interview with Mike Tyson, and he was like, it's like that championship mentality, right? He was like, yeah, my wife called me fat, so I started working out again. So I went on the
That's
treadmill.
all it takes? What the fuck?
That's it.
Yeah, he's like, so
You're
I
fat.
went
Oh,
on the
yeah?
treadmill, and I started with 20 minutes. He's like, and then the next day that 20 minutes turned into 2 hours.
That's
And
weird,
I just
dude.
went 2 hours, 2
Mike,
hours.
I bet you ain't gonna suck this dick. Oh, is that what you're gonna say to me? The next day it was 1 dick, then it was 20 dicks, then it was 30 dicks. Next thing you know, bukake party.
Bro, when we were in school, my brother literally had a shirt, and we didn't know what it meant, right? We had no idea what it meant, but he bought a shirt online off this website, and it said Bukake Tsunami.
Hell yeah.
And it was like some band. I forget the band. I don't know if that's the band name, but it was literally a bunch of people running, like if they're running from like a big ass monster, and it was just a bunch of like white shit flying, but we had no idea what it was. This fool used to wear it to school, and then one day he got dress coded. We're like, what? We
He's
don't
like,
know
what's
what.
the problem
Wow.
here? That is semen.
That
What do you
shit's
mean?
funny though. And then he also had a Cannibal Corpse shirt, and basically it was like a zombie, like the top half of a zombie, and like the rest of his like guts and shit just hanging out. And just like at the end of the guts was just his big ass balls and wiener.
Oh my
He was
God.
wearing to school.
That's what's up, dude.
What are you doing?
How long
That's
did it
what's
take
up.
for him to get caught for that shit?
That shirt, I think that shirt he got dress coded immediately, and then he also we both got these Slayer shirts that had a big demon head with a pentagram like carved in with a knife on the forehead.
Oh,
He
shit.
wore that one day and got dress coded.
Satan.
And then I got dress coded once for an Iron Maiden shirt because the back of it said 666, the number of the beast, because that was like their big song, the number of the beast. So I got dress coded for it, and I remember walking down because the principal came and brought me. He's like, "Hey, look, I'm actually an Iron Maiden fan, so it's kind of cool you're wearing this shirt. He's like, but some people here kind of get offended by that stuff, so I have to.
We
have to dress
He's like, I'm also a bukake fan.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's like, hey, Bukake's the Nami, right? I was like,
bukake.
He's
I'm
like,
all about
actually,
it.
dude, that's my shit. Smell my shirt.
Smell it.
Smell my
You got a
shirt.
black light. Look at it.
He just gets a black light look. It's all splashed over. Bukake this morning. It's like, hey, yo, Prince, yo, we good. It's like, can I get suspended or something?
Shit. Have you ever got suspended?
Yeah, I got suspended. I got expelled in elementary school.
Did you get expelled?
And then I got-
Elementary?
Yeah, because I
For
stabbed
what?
the kid.
Oh, for the
Yeah,
pencil.
so-
The pencil.
Yeah,
That was
and then
okay.
I got suspended a month into my new elementary school. And then I got suspended at junior high for a couple of weeks for fighting a couple times. And then high school, I was a lot better about not fighting in school.
There you
Yeah.
go.
You know,
That's the
fight
trick.
outside. You know, 'cause there's no point in fucking fighting over here and then getting your ass beat at home. Like, it was
Yeah.
just so stupid. I just was so hot tempered. You
Yeah.
know, I was like, because people used to always say in high school, just wait till after school. I'm like, why wait?
Yeah.
And now I understand why.
So
I
you don't
was
get in
like,
trouble?
let's just do it right here. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
you know, I would start swinging or whatever.
Yeah.
But then for them, they're just like, you idiot. Like, we're going to get in trouble now. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
oh, that's probably why they say after school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's funny.
I just got kicked out of high school my senior year.
You got kicked out of the whole school?
Yeah.
For
I
what?
know. Just so many absences. I
Too
had
many
one-
bukake t-shirts,
Too
I
many
dude.
know.
bukakes,
Too many
dude.
bukakes. You know, I had bukkake on my mind and shit. So I was like, no, I was just ditching so much because I turned 18 the beginning of senior year. So like, it was like downhill from there because I was like, fuck this. I'm not.
Can't you write your own notes when you're 18 and just be
But
like,
your
I'm out?
parents. So I wanted to get that done. But they were I kind of went to the front office, try to play it off like, oh yeah, you know, some days I might have to go to work earlier, but it might be like once day out of the month. They're like, okay, well, here's the paper. Your parents still need to sign this, and I was just like, fuck,
Yeah,
because I knew right when I told my dad, he's like, I ain't signing that shit. I was like, fuck. But so I just didn't go.
Did you ever just forge your parents' signature?
No, I honestly never did. I did actually one time. I didn't actually do it though. So my mom forgot to sign a piece of paper for me. It was like some report card shit that I was like in trouble or whatever like that. So she had to sign it, but she forgot to sign it. So like I texted her, I'm like, yo, you didn't sign the paper that I need. She's like, all right, well then just
Do yourself.
forge my signature. So she did her signature on a piece of paper and drew it and took a picture of it and sent it to me.
Ah.
And I was trying to practice it and I could not get it done.
I
So
can
had to
still do
have
my
a
dad's
friend.
signature to the fucking T.
Oh,
My
really?
shit's nice, dude.
Yeah,
I
that was
could
good.
forge the fuck out of it.
Damn.
Partially because my dad was lazy as fuck.
Okay.
You know, it's just like, you're failing anyways. Just sign
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, you have an F? No shit.
Yeah, see, my mom's signature is like super. She's like really good at it, so it's super clean. So I couldn't do it. So I had to have one of my friends actually like. She practiced it a couple times and then she signed my paper. And my dad's signature is weird as fuck. It's like it's 4 letters for his whole name.
Oh, it's like a bunch of squigglies and shit.
It's like it's literally it's like this long too. I'm like, bro, just DA, bro, David Acosta. That's it.
Dude,
You
I
got it.
can't. You know, so like, so every year we do this like Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving thing, right?
Mhm.
And then we were just kind of. This year we did it through Zoom. So there's one friend that always sets it up. Her name is. She's gonna be so happy that I said her name.
Hey, shouts
Peggy.
out.
Shout outs to
what up?
She's
What up,
the
baby?
weirdest bitch I've ever met in my life.
Weird bitch. You
Shout
weird
out
bitch.
Nice
You
One
weird. You
Bag.
weird.
Yo,
We were just going through these funny ass old high school stories that you don't remember until you start having a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
So this girl is so fucking hilarious, right? Maybe I'll bleep out your name. I'm about to embarrass you. Yes, I'll bleep out. Maybe I'll just bleep it out, right?
Hercules.
Yeah. So this girl was so fucking funny because she was that one girl in the group that habitually had crushes on everybody in the group.
Oh, okay.
So if she would get denied once, she's like, I'm moving on to this guy over here.
Hell yeah.
But this bitch got
like that.
shot down by everybody in the fucking group, dude. The funniest thing that I completely forgot, my best friend, this dude is so fucked up, but he didn't know that this was going to happen because she didn't have a date for prom. So there was this other girl, one of our friends within the group, was like, oh, hey, Gabo, why don't you take out this girl? Right? And this fool legit says, he goes, ugh, what the fuck? Hell no. He says that, and she's standing right behind him. It's the funniest fucking thing ever.
Oh my god,
He's
bro,
like
that's
mortified.
terrible.
I was like, bro, why would you do that? He goes, I didn't fucking know she was right behind me. This fool said, ew,
Yeah.
what the fuck is wrong with you? Hell no.
That's like those memes
Oh
when you
my
see it's like,
God.
oh, you guys would be cute together, and the girl says, "Ill."
Yeah. She was
bro.
so strong. Like during the time that she had a crush on me, she was like, one of those girls I like to roughhouse and shit. This bitch grabbed my backpack and tore it in half off my back.
God.
So I
What kind
just
of roughhousing is
She's
that?
like, bitch, you
dude?
dating me.
So I just had the straps on it and no backpack, and all my books fell out.
Damn.
I turned around, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And she's just so awkwardly laughing as she just tore my Gap backpack. And you know, Gap was a shit back in the day.
Like,
Hey,
I
mine
get it,
was-
you want to fuck, but bro.
Mine
Give
was-
me that dick. Ah!
When I was in school, it was Jansport.
Oh, Jansport
Yeah,
is
that
still
was the
popping,
backpack.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jansport's
that's,
still the shit.
Hey, that's the backpack, though.
That's the one. That was the one.
That's the
up
one
with
that
that
gives you back
Jansport,
problems
bro.
like none other.
Yeah, Jansport, that whack. That's what all people stuff just papers in
I
there
know,
and shit.
huh? Dude,
No
my back,
binder, just papers in there.
that was so bad, bro.
Jansports.
Literally, my backpack straight up, like you could do this to it. Like I had nothing in it. I put like
Oh, I
Is
believe
that
it.
air?
2 pieces of paper, like some pencils, and then mainly what I would do, because there was a
Bukake
Circle
shirts.
K right next to school, I would go there and buy like snacks for the day and just put it in my backpack.
Dude, there's this
That's
one
what's
guy
up.
that we were talking about in the group that cracked me up, and it goes into the topic of like, you. I'm pretty sure people have met people like this before, but they're like habitual liars.
Mhm.
Like they don't. Number one, they don't either know how to lie, or they go too far with their
Yeah.
lies, or
Yeah, yeah.
it's so just obviously a fucking lie.
Mhm.
So there's this guy that moved from some other fucking state into our school, right? And he became best friends with this other kid who's also a habitual liar.
Oh,
So these two would
Oh,
just
they
bullshit
best
each other all
friends.
the time. But I remember the funniest lie that he ever did, and it was because somebody was talking about some like hood gang shit, right? And none of us are, my friends in the high school, none of us are thugs. We were just enamored by whatever this guy was talking about.
Yeah.
And this fool had the funniest voice too. He had like a Kermit the Frog voice,
Oh,
and he
nice.
just kind of came. He goes, yeah, I know what that's like. It's all right, yeah, no. He's like, I know what that's like. I know what that's like. I'm like, really, dude? Like you do? He goes, yeah, man. I had all these friends, and they were killed in New York, And out of nowhere, I cannot make this shit up. He just goes, "Fucking New York gangs!"
What the fuck?
And we all stop and look at him like, "The fuck are you doing? Fucking New York gangs!" Dead silent. We all just,
Like
"What the fuck is wrong with you?" He oversold it.
Wow.
He could have just came in real casual.
Like he's
with
like
a story.
shaking at the sky.
Yeah,
gangs!
the camera pans in.
Yeah.
Falls to his knees and shit. You're like,
Like when I look at
alright.
somebody like that, I'm like, if you're going to be a habitual liar, why don't you practice your lies or something, How come he couldn't just do it subtly? It's like, yeah, like I had a couple of homies who died out in New York and it was pretty sad. But this fool said, yeah, I know what this is like. Fucking New York guys.
Fuck, bro.
Wow, dude.
But I guess if you're gonna lie like that, you gotta go hard. You know what I mean? It probably doesn't
go
feel
all the
good
way.
to do it the chill way. You gotta go with the theatrics, the Shakespeare, the look up in the fucking sky camera. Like that's how you gotta go, bro.
He's just staring at the sky. You're like, all
New
right,
York
then.
guys. I just pictured him in his room practicing it all day.
I know
You
how.
know what I mean?
In the mirror, he's like, all right, no,
Yeah.
don't do it that way. Dude.
I know the school's ghetto, and somebody's gonna ask me about gangs. And I gotta get this story. Fucking New York gangs.
What the fuck, bro?
He was such an odd fucking character, and he was doing a lot of stuff that when you don't know where somebody's from, you could technically make up any story that
Oh,
you
of
want.
course. Yeah,
because how
sure.
are we going to fact check you?
Yeah, you're new.
It's fucking impossible, especially back in the day. We didn't have Twitter and all this other stuff.
Right.
So he would just say these flagrant fucking lies all the time about how many people he would beat. He's like a really sweet dude,
Yeah.
but it's like, dog, no.
Yeah, stop.
This fool had like alopecia and shit. His skin's all falling off, and
Yeah,
Wow.
I've met a couple people like that, but like the worst one, I remember this guy was talking to us at the gym. He was all talking about how he turned down an offer from the Raiders. Right? So this is the guy, like literally anything that would come up. Oh yeah, I used to do that. Oh yeah, I used to do that. Oh yeah, I used to work for that. Like we were getting a sign put up. Oh yeah, I used to put up signs. We're like, bitch, like everything. He's always
Everything he just
job.
did too.
Yeah.
everything, absolutely everything. So he's
I'm
all
binary.
talking.
Yeah, I used to be binary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
I'm
literally,
blind.
but
Yeah, blind,
straight
me
up,
too,
he
blind.
knows everybody.
I'm blind, dog.
He meets one
Hearing-
person.
hearing what?
Meets one person. Best friends with them. Oh, that's my good homie. That's my good homie. It's just like, all right. But like he was talking to us once, and we were talking about football, right? And about how like if you got an offer for a football team, even if you weren't gonna play, that you would still take it because it'd be dumb for you not to. Psh, I turned it down, and we all just look at him like, what? He's like, yeah, shit. The Raiders offered me. They were like, hey, we want to pay you like, I think he said like $1 million something bucks. He's like, we want to pay you $1 million bucks, but you're gonna have to be second string. He's like, so man, I said, fuck that. If I ain't playing, I ain't being on the team. We're like, bro, I just walked away. I could not stand this motherfucker.
That was
anymore.
the funniest thing I've ever heard in my
Like,
life.
you turn down, so one of the most dangerous sports in the world, you don't even have to play, but hey, you're going to get millions of dollars. Nah, I'm good,
player,
bro.
I'll be here
Shut the
at this
fuck
gym.
up.
One of my
Minimum
friends
wage.
one of my homies was so good at calling people out for their bullshit. He would do this shit that I picked up on later on. Is like habitual liars. They like the attention, right? So whatever it is, like that one up thing is pretty evident of it. Like if it's pretty ridiculous. Obviously, if you're homies, you're gonna share stories, and that's fine. But what this fool would do, which was genius, is that when these fools would go on like let's say it was that guy, right? He was fucking New York gangs guy. He would start telling a story, right? And then he would just say a made up story that's ridiculous, and he would wait for him to one up it. And so he would just keep doing it over and over and over. And then he'll do it was like, hey, that's like last time when we were at that store, right? And people were squaring up on it. We said, what's up to him? He was like, yeah, we did. He goes, no, we didn't, bitch. It didn't happen. So he would gas him up for like 10 minutes and then just roast these people towards the end. Like, you're a fucking dummy.
Yeah.
Because they don't even know. They get caught up and they just
And
start
they're lying.
rolling into this fucking this donut hole of disaster.
I don't get how you could live like that. Like just just constantly telling fucking lies
Well,
like
it's
that.
just
Like, what the fuck
yeah,
are
you do. Well,
like,
they lie so much that they just believe
the lie? Yeah,
they just
you must
believe
at some
it.
point, huh?
It's just like someone I know in the fucking White House, bro. But like, yeah, like they just
Whoa.
fucking keep lying and lying and lying and just make people believe them and make themselves believe.
You know, somebody that we know, I'm gonna tell you guys after the podcast.
I'm gonna
but
grab the Buffalo Trace real quick.
oh yeah, get that drink.
Yeah, get that drink because I be sipping on that.
Come on.
But he said
Oh, shit.
he said like he told us the funniest story about somebody that he knew, and this dude. So when he told me about him originally, it already sounded really far fetched, right? Just because he reminded me of somebody that I met in UC Riverside that was also a habitual liar. So this guy was extreme with his lies, right? So he would tell him kind of stuff, and this is our buddy, and you know him too, would regurgitate the stories to me, and it just sounded so outlandish. He goes like, he's like telling him, he goes, yo, so this dude I know, like, he used to be a part of the CIA. And right off the jump, I'm like, this sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
David already has that face like,
Okay, so who is this guy, right? He goes, yeah, so he says, so we were driving, right? And then he just looks at the building and he goes, I know where the exits are.
what the fuck?
driving. I'm
He's
like,
Jason Bourne and shit.
Exactly, like some Jason Bourne shit.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I already know where the exits are. And then he would turn around the corner, and then the reason why he believed him is because they would drive by the building, and on the side there was an exit door. He goes, see, yeah, he would call it out. There's an exit door right there. I'm like, yeah, buildings have doors, bro. Like,
Shit. He knew there was a door.
He must be part of the CIA.
Yeah, and so they started piecing stuff together is when they took him to a shooting range. And so he was talking about, you know, he's a secret CIA agent, how fast he could draw his gun, how he would kill and murder targets on an instant, right? So they're like, oh, let's take this fool to a shooting range because they were hyped up to see what he could do. Tell me why this fool missed all the targets.
Of course, bro.
And this was like, yeah, something's wrong with the gun.
Hands off. Yeah.
He's like, looking at it, he's
get the little gun like this. What's wrong with this? All right, let me take it out. Okay. He starts putting the fucking pistol in his mouth.
He starts doing weird shit. He's like this. He's like, they're like, you're not supposed to, hold on. Yeah, the aim sight particular is off,
Like,
so
hey,
I can't.
how many minutes does it take for me to spawn back? Yo, this is real life, bro.
Bro, how great would it have been if some shit actually cracked off and that dude just got, he's like, I got it, guys, gets shot in the chest. And then there's a moment to be like, he didn't know shit. And then you get shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's the last thing you fucking think.
Isn't
it's
that
like-
fucking crazy, though?
That's bananas,
I
bro.
don't understand that.
Why
like,
would he go to the shooting range?
I know, right?
Jackass,
Like,
bro.
I would have made up some shit like, hey, I'm sick, bro. I can't go.
Exactly.
Today, my bad. That shit's fucking wild. One of my clients is like that because one of my clients is super smart, right? And I tell you guys about this guy all the time. It's a guy that's older that I see in Simi Valley, right? But this guy has the craziest stories, right? So like I'll tell you one story. So he was part of the army, like the U.S. Army and stuff like that, right? But he wasn't brought in to be part of like battle and that type of shit. He was brought in for intelligence, right? And like this is the level of smart he is. When he was in high school, a senior in high school, his school got in contact with NASA because NASA had made public about some math problem they couldn't figure out, right? So they contact NASA and say, we have someone that can figure out your problem. And they said, okay. So they brought it to him. My client figured out the math problem for them, right? So that's how smart this guy was, right?
Damn.
He's super smart. You know, he built a whole internet security software that a lot of stuff uses and stuff. But so he goes to the army. And there's a project called the Phoenix Project, and there's movies about this, and you can read it up and all that type of shit, right? But he was part of the army, but he was part of like where, you know, he had to go do all the trainings for shooting and that type of shit because of stuff that he might have had to be in. He had to know how to shoot. He had to know how to shoot snipers and all that type of stuff. But when they got him into the army, they told him, hey, we want you to be part of this project called the Phoenix Project. And so what they intel them on was like, oh, basically we just need you to help set up missions for us that we can help capture terrorists, right? And they said we want it to be super sneaky, where you go, you let us know what to do, what times, and all this type of stuff, and we'll capture these people. He's like, so I said, okay, man, you know, yes. He said he went to go, in their first meeting, their very first meeting, they said, let us know basically like where we need a bomb. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, where should we just bomb? And he's like, well, that's going to kill a bunch of people. He's like, why would we bomb that? I can tell you how to go. Well, it's faster if we do it this way. So with that information, he said, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to help you guys out, which caused like a huge, you know, issue in there because you're telling these people that you're not going to help them out. So they actually kicked him out of the army. And he was telling me, he's like, oh, it was like a movie when I got home. Like literally on the plane ride home, I wrote about the whole entire Phoenix Project, what it was, what they said it was, but what it actually was going to be. Blah, blah, blah. I wrote it. And when I got off the plane, the first thing I did was mail it out to newspapers. He's like, and then I got home, and he's like, and literally right when I stepped into my door, I had a phone call on my phone, right? So I answered it, and it was one of his chiefs, and they said, you know, you're not allowed to talk about this to anybody, correct? He's like, well, you got to tell that to the newspaper place I already sent it to, right? So he said for years, he couldn't get a job. Years and years. He applied at big places because he was super smart. So he wasn't just like applying like a McDonald's or some shit, right? But they wouldn't. They said once it got to the part to hire him, they would call him and said, hey, we got a call from the U.S. government saying that we're not allowed to hire you for this position. So that's what ended up leading him to go into these things. But all right, what I'm talking about with the shooting, right? So he knows all this shit, and I've never seen him shoot, but he has all these fucking guns, right? So one time we go shoot out in the desert. So he goes, and this is the first time. I'm all excited to go shoot with him and shit. And he's old, so like his back was already giving him problems and stuff. So he's going up, and he's like, all right. He grabs a pistol. We have all these targets. He goes, okay. Ding, 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 ding. I'm like, this motherfucker Jason Bourne. I'm like, holy fuck, bro. And then he grabs a shotgun. Boom, bowling ball. Boom, watermelon. I'm like, oh my fucking God. And then he grabs a sniper, right? And he shoots at one. He's like, oh no, it's not sighted right. Starts messing with it. Motherfucker starts hitting like a 300 fucking meters away and shit.
Damn.
I'm like, damn, bro.
That's scary, dude.
He's like 73 at this time.
Just a mad killer. That's the thing about old people is you never know like who they are because they look cute and old and fragile, but that dude literally could fucking just stab you in the neck or probably kill 30 Russians.
It's like, crazy too because he did so. He's like good at all that, but he just has like the worst luck. Like he has MS. You know, he has stage 3 kidney disease. He's broken his back. He used to be a firefighter, broke his back. They were in a house that was on fire. He fell through, landed on his back, broke his back. So it's just like with everything that's led up to now, like he's at a point where he can't really even walk that long. But he wishes he can go shoot and shit like that again. But it was just crazy to me to see, you know, when someone tells you about like all their history and shit, you like, not that I didn't believe him, but then he goes and I'm like, oh my fucking God,
you're
bro.
The real deal, son.
He's the real deal, bro. I'm like, that's why you have these guns. He's like, oh, I used to love going.
He's all casual with this shit.
Bro,
let me see this.
Dude, he had, you know, like the golf. He had like the golf hat on too. You know, the golf hat.
Like the Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, just a golf hat. Yeah. He had his normal shirt. This guy's a multimillionaire. You would never know it. He wears normal plain jeans that you would probably get like at Costco, right? Mm-hmm. And just like a normal collared shirt with like just normal shoes. Just walking around, and he's like, okay. Beep, beep. I'm like, damn, fool. I'm all missing everything. This motherfucker's hitting everything. Damn. I'm like, shit, bro.
You shooting after him, you're like, hey, I'm straight, man.
I'm like, shit. I'm like this. I'm like,
shit,
you got it on the sideways tilt. Hey, I can't hit for some reason.
Was that the first time you ever shot a gun?
First time I ever shot a gun. I actually got really lucky in the sense of hitting targets. And it was funny because my dad questioned me about it. So I was 17, I think it was.
Like, this is not your first time. It's like,
yeah, literally.
Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
You know, so we were like all into like rapping. It was when I was rapping and shit. But so my dad's like, you want to go shooting? I'm like, yeah, I've never shot, right? So like my dad's giving me the whole course about how to hold it and shit. And we go there, and this is Arizona. So there's a lot more guns out there, right? I think one of the guys was in the army. He had an AK-47 or something. I think it was that. Might have been that or an AR-15. But I feel like it was an AK-47. I don't fully remember.
I don't know the difference.
But all I know is whatever gun it was, bro, I literally, like, it was so, like, the trigger was so light. Like, you barely touched the trigger and this shit shot. Like, it was kind of scary. But I think I was about 17. We went to some desert in Arizona, and we had these metal targets set up. And what's funny is, you know the movie Zombieland?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. I don't know the actors' names, but
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, all that type of stuff.
Some nerdy.
I remembered, like, I don't know why that went through my head at that point, but there's a scene in the first one. He's like, "What you got to do is you take a big breath in, and as you're exhaling is when you shoot." And that was like where I got like my breathing technique to shoot. And we had 5 targets, and I hit every single one of them. My very first time, like pulling a trigger on my gun, and my dad looks at me, he's like, "When the fuck have you gone shooting before?" I was like, "I haven't. This is my first time." He's like, "Have you been taking my guns and going shooting or what?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "This is literally my first time. I promise you."
Damn.
Yeah, bro. But that was the first time when I was 17.
It scared the shit out of me. Like, I know how to.
It's scary.
I know how to
They
use
are
it now
scary.
because like Bart and them and taught me shit. But I still remember the first time I've ever was given a gun was from a homie of mine, and you know, like when somebody hands you that shit, it's like it's a rite of passage. Almost, right? They're like, "Hey, you gonna need this shit." Right?
Wasn't this the one they just gave to you, like, and it was illegal as fuck?
It was illegal as fuck. You know, gives me this fucking Glock, right? And I take it. But I remember this moment where I just took it, and you know, I'm trying to act hard as fuck. I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, man."
New York gangs!
Fucking New York gangs! like, you know, holding this shit like a sandwich again. Like, yeah. Thanks. You know? And I'm over here like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna need this shit." But I remember when after I took it, I was
it like this the whole time.
Somebody got mayo? Yeah. Mayo. Hey, someone put a spread on this real quick. But I remember holding the gun and my heart was racing, right? And I just kind of like, "Oh my God." Like, this is a gun.
Yeah.
I'm like, scary shit.
Wait, this is actually the real thing. It's heavy.
This is real. That's the first thing that popped in my head was how heavy a gun is.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, holy shit, this is not
too.
like my Nerf gun.
When I first got it, I think the gun that I shot, the very first one was a 9mm. It was like a compact one. So it was a little smaller.
It's just all like
steel. But it was heavy as
dense.
fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck. But what sucked is like after I hit those shots, I was like, "Oh, this is about to be fun, bro." And then like it's fun, but like when you have to shoot targets and you're missing absolutely everything, I'm kind of just like, all right,
Yeah,
like
that shit's annoying.
it's cool to shoot, but I just don't see it's not. That's like
guns to me is like
It's-
axe throwing. Like once I did it for that one time,
Yeah,
I'm like,
I mean,
I'm over this.
it's
You know?
cool for me. It's like once a year,
Yeah.
maybe or something
Yeah,
like
every
that.
once in a while it's
But
cool.
like how people like love to go do it
Every
like,
week.
It's
I'm
therapy
like-
for some people. But
Yeah,
I mean, for me,
I guess
like
so.
my dad liked guns. He owned guns too. First time I shot a gun, I was like 6, 7.
Yeah.
My dad was like, he took me out to some canyon with a bunch of random people, and we're just shooting at. I don't know if it was legal. We're just shooting at a mountain, and he was like, "You see that target? That thing owes you money. Okay, you hit it right in the middle." I was like, "All right."
Yeah, you see that? You gotta kill him.
Now go do your homework.
But yeah, dude, it was scary as fuck too. Like, especially as a
Yeah,
little
it's
kid,
scary.
I was like, all right, like boom, and you feel that fucking that
That
power.
little cockback
Yeah,
and shit.
the
Yeah.
scariest ones to me were like the shotguns and the AR-15. Because I know like that story that I was telling you about him, that day we had a sawed-off shotgun and we had an AR-15.
Do you have a sawed off?
And a fucking, he had a sniper. Like,
Bro, that dude was a
they
fucking
had
assassin,
snipers.
bro.
So
Yeah, he
him
killed
and our
people. That dude
family,
was an assassin.
him and our
He lied
family
to you.
friend had snipers. And so those things, you know, we had to set them up on tables and we put them on on these sandbags.
Yeah.
So like they don't move and shit. But those, dude, when you shoot those things, it's boom. You're like, fuck, bro. Like those shits are scary. So even every time before I'm gonna do it, it's hard to like aim because my heart's like, don't mess up. Like, don't like.
That's
fucking,
part of shooting. Like, that's
Oh,
why they have
fucking
these
A.
things called dummy rounds. So you put like a fake bullet in there. So when you're shooting, you don't realize that because even if you've been shooting for a long time, you kind of like anticipate the kick,
Yeah.
right? So instinctually, you just kind of jump into the shot or you pull it a certain way and your shit goes off. So you put these dummy rounds in there. So you'll be shooting and on the dummy round, you'll do the thing that you're doing. You'll be like, oh, fuck, I'm kicking it to the left or I'm kicking it to the right. And you actually see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Even if you think you're like hard or whatever, you're still kind of like, because it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Instinctually, like, and you see some guys that are pros, like Tim Kennedy always puts videos of him shooting, and that motherfucker shoots, and like, well, it'll be a dummy round, and it doesn't move at all. Like, tick. You'll be like, that dude's a straight up assassin.
Damn.
Dude.
Yeah, that's just
I'm not
scary,
trying
bro.
to fuck with people like that, man.
No, I mean, shit,
neither.
I think
Let's
like
just be cool.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's cool.
Let's just kick it.
Yeah. we don't need this.
Let's just kick it.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's like
Have
good
a
to have
beer.
a gun, I guess, right, for protection.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but I just like
I always crack up when I read people's Instagram posts and they're like, I practice shooting so I could protect my family every day. Where do you live? I know. Where the fuck do you live? You live in a suburb, bitch. Shut up. Right. You know what I mean? It's like every day
I'm ready.
It's a war ground every day. I'm like, you live next to a Safeway, man. Be quiet. Like, you're fine, man. Like the way they would justify how often they need to shoot a gun because the whole world is like a war ground is so stupid to me.
Yeah.
Like I've lived in a very, very bad neighborhood. I've never been shot at once. Well, that's not true. I've survived. You know what I mean? And I had a gun.
Yeah, the sandwich one.
I had the sandwich.
Like, pew, 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 pew. Like making the noises.
He's like, I held the gun like this for 2 months and I never had to use it.
I threaten people at that shit. I was like, yo, man, what you think about this gun right here? They're like, hey,
man.
It's
just scary. It's just when you know what it can do, like it's just scary to me, right?
It's scary, bro.
And someone who's already scared of like dying all the time, like when I have like a gun, I'm like, fuck, bro. Like I don't want to touch this. And
I had an uncle. Like, he's kind of a hard ass. So he actually worked. Well, he's retired now, semi-retired. He's a professor. He teaches like law and shit. Mm-hmm. But he was a teacher in Folsom Prison, right? Folsom Prison is like one of the most high-level security prisons in all the United States, right? He's a fucking hard ass. Like he used to wake us up in the morning by calling us dumbasses. This was always
dumbass.
He was like, "Wake up, dumbasses!" It's like, the fuck, man? Like, we're fucking 6. Like, chill with that shit. But this dude, lo and behold, like there's this whole backstory about him. I told this before, but he was known in like the Elk Grove, Sacramento area because as like the Asian dude that would just fuck people up. Mm-hmm. So he used to walk around, and this was verified by other people that we've met, where he was known as a dude that would fuck people up with nunchucks.
Yeah, shit.
So they would make like ching chong Asian jokes at him. So he would be the asshole that would beat him with the most Asian weapon of all.
That's gangster as fuck. That's so gangster.
They told this story about him where he wanted to like prove his worth to everybody in the neighborhood that, you know, he's not a little bitch. So he joined the football team. He was the only like Korean American Asian kid on the football team. So, you know, he would fuck shit up. So he went to a house party and somebody called him like a ching chong or a chink or some shit. And this dude told me this story. He was like, dude, your uncle is so fucking nuts. He had nunchucks. He walked over and he smashed that dude's trucks to a fucking smithereens with nunchucks. Took out the fucking side view mirror, smashed all the fucking windows, dented up the whole truck with it, and nobody would say shit to him.
Wow. Yeah. Dude, that's a level in Street Fighter when you get to fucking beat up the car.
Imagine being like so skilled with nunchucks, like that's how you beat up people.
That's the most gangster shit. I feel like beating someone's ass with a nunchuck has to be so
it's
satisfying.
Basically getting your ass beat by a fucking
like,
dildo.
How do you, like,
basically.
I wonder if there's like nunchuck classes. Like,
there is. So when I was in
nunchuck,
when I was in Taekwondo, once we reached our black belt, we were trained how to use a staff and also nunchucks.
That's so crazy. Like, that's so cool.
Also, nunchucks has the added effect of like, so say you're about to fight a dude. If he pulls out nunchucks, there's that extra moment of like, are those fucking nunchucks? But you're already getting cracked. You know what I mean? Like it has that element of like, is this fool really coming at me with nunchucks? And you've already gotten cracked. So it has that extra psychological effect. You know?
The shitty thing about nunchucks is that if you suck at it, that should have beat your ass.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah.
There's so many times where I've nut shotted myself, fucking hit myself in the shin. It's a very difficult weapon to use. Yeah, because most of it was for show when we would do it, right? So we would do like our pumses, which is like you know, whatever shit, and then we would do it. But then there was the application of striking with it.
I guess that's what I mean. Like imagine like using it to actually like.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that's your weapon of choice. Like I'm gonna grab a gun. Hey, hold on, let me grab the chucks right quick.
So I forgot what it was, and I'm sure people can look this up. But there was a certain point. I think it was like in the 80s. Where there was these weird weapons that were outlawed. It was like certain Asian weapons. Mm-hmm. So nunchucks are as illegal as guns are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, as illegal?
Yeah. In certain places?
Here. Like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If you have nunchucks, someone cop will pull you over and be like, you're under arrest.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think brass knuckles are illegal
like
too.
Switchblades. Switchblades, brass knuckles, nunchucks, and like some other like fucking Asian shit that's very odd. But nunchucks were one of them, and it's just a stick with a chain on it.
Yeah.
But if you walk around and you beat somebody with that, that's like... It's like severe shit.
How many people were getting fucked up with nunchucks back in the day?
I don't know.
They were like, bro, we need to outlaw this shit. Bro, this is a problem.
Imagine the president at the time's like, look, I know there's an issue with nunchucks. We're going to go ahead and ban them.
Like, school shooters use nunchucks and shit. Or just fucking everybody
up.
That's
fucking insane, bro.
Yeah, we found out before I came on here, we were talking about the fucking, they were raiding, people are raiding the Capitol right now or some shit.
I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill.
Yeah. That fucking coked out little bill just.
I know. Shit's crazy. Just depressed. Yeah, we were
just
left him.
saying because there's a bunch of video, obviously, right now and shit like that. David said he hadn't seen it till he came in. But there's a bunch of videos going on right now. The video that me and Pat were talking about, some lady got shot in the neck as they were like trying to break through.
By a security guard or officer?
Yeah, I believe so.
The overview. Trump, right, has been saying that the election's stolen. Has been kind of riling up his base, being like, it's bullshit. We got to do more, fight harder, blah, blah, blah. So today, basically a bunch of Trumpers just rushed Capitol Hill because they were counting some electoral votes.
Yeah, it was like the official count, like to solidify
like
that
Biden is the president, right? Like it's already like the dude's president. You guys lost, you know. But they just stormed the fucking gates and got in. They got into like the place where they show on TV with the blue floors and like the little. Like the circle room and shit. There's a motherfucker, like I told you, with the buffalo hat and Braveheart mask that's standing there like in where the Speaker of the House.
They may take our votes.
He looks like
but not on Trump.
You know Nighthawk, or I think it's Nighthawk from Mortal Kombat. I think it is.
No, the dude with the axes. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, he has like the red paint on his face.
Yeah.
Oh, the Native American dude.
That guy. That's
like
basically
that
almost like what he was dressed like at.
But with a buffalo hat on. So this guy looks like, that dude looks crazy as fuck. But whatever, they stormed, they're breaking windows.
Are you talking about the buffalo animal?
Like a buffalo skin,
like a buffalo skin.
animal, like fur, like like the old, like what a fucking, like what's on raccoon hunting, like when fucking dudes were discovering America.
Paul Bunyan.
Like that shit.
This thing
like
right
on his
here,
head,
on his
and
head.
no shirt, but blue and white, fucking Braveheart painted face, like in the middle, like where the speakers speak, like
yeah, bro.
What happened to just having an American flag?
Yeah, people are taking pictures
next
on that
level.
shit, bro.
The evolution.
Yeah, and like someone posted a picture. He had broken into Nancy Pelosi's office. Pelosi's. What the fuck? She's in her office chilling with his feet up. There's another guy that stole a piece of her mail that like happily is all taking a picture with it. Like,
why are they tripping so much,
bruh?
Okay, look. These people are fucking idiots, obviously, you know? But in their eyes, they think that they believe that the election's stolen and rigged. So they're like, fuck that. Like, this is the democratic process. We're like basically having a revolution. They just attacked.
And so this is like their American civil duty to go ahead and stop Biden from becoming president because Trump won.
And this, you pointed out, was what's the end? Like, they got in and you see them chanting, like, don't steal the vote. But it's like that. That's not gonna get anything done.
Like, they started out this plan. The fucking guy with the fucking buffalo was like, all right, plan, we're gonna break in. And then they're like so dumb that they forgot to finish writing it. They're like, oh, let's go break in. All right, what else?
Like, what is gonna, I don't understand
what
the end
is the
result.
outcome of this? You guys are all, especially all those people that are making themselves like hella known for like at these spots. You guys are going to get arrested when all this shit's done.
Absolutely.
These people stealing mail from...
the weird thing is like, because, I've only followed it pretty loosely, right? But there are people who are Republicans, avid Republicans in this open space that don't agree with this. They're like, well, even if there was a certain amount of votes that weren't counted, it's not enough to overturn this. Like, it's very nominal. Like, there's no proof of this.
Yeah.
So it's just really dumb.
Right.
Like, and this could be for any type of presidential election. There was probably voter fraud to a very small degree.
Right, exactly.
But it's not enough, especially how much Biden won by. So it didn't make sense, you know?
Well, this is the problem all the time with this shit, is that there's rational people like you're talking about. That's most people, and then the loud motherfuckers on the left and the right cause this crazy chaos, and then we all get sucked into it with like, there's all this bullshit going on, and you feel like you have to pick sides. This is this and that, but
And what was the lady thinking, just storming the place? Like, what was the outcome that she was expecting? She got shot in the neck,
like
and then
what
she was
we're saying.
that's
Obviously, I don't wish anybody to die and shit, but it's like,
my daily prayer.
Like, what do you expect? Like, you're breaking into this thing, right?
I don't know why she thought she was gonna come out alive.
Yeah, there's like, secret fucking security guards all dressed up in like the all black, like Men in Black style shit, right? You're trying to break in towards these congressmen and women that are doing this shit. They have to protect these people. And it's not like we were talking about, it's not like you're like knocking on the door like, hey, let us come in so we can make our voices heard. You guys are kicking in the doors. You're breaking the fucking windows. So, what do you expect to happen? There's going to be some sort of violent act.
If you rush cops, you're probably going to get shot, But the other shitty thing that I've been seeing too is on social media. But this is what sucks is that like it's kind of true, but it just gets shifted into the, like putting people against each other, right? But I've been seeing a lot of memes where it's like, oh, like look at the white privilege, look at this, look at that.
That's what I was gonna say.
Which is true because like, yeah, if the protesters were brown and black, like they probably would have shot them all right away, 100%. And that's I think indisputable. But the thing is like if you focus just on that, then you're buying into the narrative that pits everyone against each other, right? Now it's just like race this, race that, boom, 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 boom. When it should be about the solution is just finding common ground with people that aren't like you and that might be on the other side of the aisle. But they're actually, you have a lot of things in common that you wouldn't think. Like a guy in LA that's middle class probably has a lot in common with a guy in Minnesota that's middle class. Maybe not ideologically, but like you want a happy family, you want to provide, you know what I mean? Like we basically want the same shit.
I feel like they killed that one white lady just so they could just put it in for the quota.
Like, see?
See, they did shoot at us.
You gotta kill one white bitch, just so they don't complain.
But that's basically that's basically what it is now. It's like it's turning into a race thing now.
It is 100% right away
because they're showing a picture of that same spot when the BLM protests were going on, and they were dressed up like they were about to go to the security guards were like they're about to go to fucking war, right? And this one was the crazy video. As people are breaking in, some of those people breaking in, they're taking pictures with some like a cop.
Yeah,
did you see that one?
Yeah, I did.
They're taking a selfie, and the cops all posing with them and shit.
It's probably because they agree with them or something.
That's what I was gonna say. It's because it's their side.
Yeah,
you know,
so it's just like
cops are pro-Trump. Like that's like what it is. You know,
but it's so crazy. Like it is kind of true in the sense of if this was a BLM thing, right? And they broke into there, like there would be bullets popping off. Bullets popping off. But right now, there was one video you might have seen. They're like walking in a single file line. Like they're still in the fucking ropes. They're like just following. It's just like, bro, they just let him do this shit.
Of like the word and the rhetoric, right? So when you see that, and then let's say it was conversely, BLM, Black Lives Matter, or whatever, and then you see the title that says thugs, degenerates.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah. But then you see this, you see patriots and Americans. So it's like, how do you? And I think that's like the part that causes like that huge divide. It's it's media is personally responsible for that too. It's like how they title this
100%.
shit. It's like, why are these people also not thugs and degenerates?
Absolutely,
right?
100%.
Absolutely.
It's because it's easy. I mean, a lot of people have been conditioned socially to look at somebody's skin color and say, well, because they're black, they're Mexican or whatever, these people are going to be thugs and degenerates. Murderers, rapists, or whatever. But then you see somebody who wears a buffalo hat.
And I saw someone saying that
that's not as American as it gets.
I saw someone saying that this should be considered a terrorist attack, like because it's our government, our national government, and they're attacking it. They're breaking in. They're stealing stuff from this spot.
But that's what BLM were called. People were calling them terrorists. So it's like, why is it not on this side? Like they literally attacked an American institution. That is an act of terror, is it not? So I don't know, man. Like it's just so weird too. And like I said, media does not help.
No, what sucks is that the media literally makes money off there being conflict. As if there's conflict, if you think fuck the world's gonna end, somebody's gonna kick down my door, you're watching the news, right? Like that's what makes people watch. It's fear. It's the fact that like happy news doesn't get views, right?
100%.
Like it's all just terror, scared, fucking the other team's gonna kill you, and they're trying to steal the election. They're trying to take away democracy. Like that's what gets people invested, and that makes them money inevitably. They don't actually want to tell you the news. And like they're not people that join the news aren't like, hey, I want to work at CNN because I really want to tell people what's going on.
Well, we have the same problem when it comes to like a younger generation that complains about media facets that do this, that kind of skew public perception. But these kids do the same thing on TikTok. It's like you literally do the same shit on TikTok. Every time you see something that quote unquote can be slightly racist, you go on this tirade about you know what I mean? Like this is, and you know what I gotta say, like I do that too, but I'm doing it in the guise of comedy. You know what I mean? Like nobody's really fucking angry or offended, depending on what it is, right? But it'll be like, and I had to call some people out on some of this shit. I did a last podcast where I was talking about this guy who was just saying like, we as Asian people, like our parents tell us that we're not shit every day. I'm like, your parents, not mine. Like, how dare you do that? What kind of fucking parents do you have? Like, and they just like to say things to get people riled up. And they're like, oh, my parents once grounded me. They are pieces of shit. Yeah. And it just goes into this snowball effect of just stupidity. Yeah. Like everybody does things just to be popular, just to be recognized. Yeah. like CNN, whatever type of fucking news facet or whatever, they're getting a paycheck off of this stuff. The sad thing about people who are on these like social media stuff, you're not even getting a paycheck. You just want the attention.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
being angry is cool. Like
Bro,
followers and
I can't believe it. Like I said, that's what I was on Instagram, and like part of me was I couldn't look away from it, but I like was feeling like kind of like dirty and like grimy and just like what the fuck is going on? Like literally something really shitty's happening, and you're gonna like I guess it's a normal human reaction to just kind of like you just want to jump into the fight and kind of start throwing punches. But it's like this is literally you're playing right into the hands of the people that want to keep people divided. Like.
That's straight up why I haven't posted anything about it. Like I've had a lot of friends post about it, but I know people that are like Trump supporters, right? All that type of stuff. And then I have friends that aren't. So like if I were to post it, I know it's going to start some sort of conversation, but I'm just like, I don't even want to get involved in it. My first reaction when I saw all this shit, my thing was just like, okay, when can this shit just be over?
Yeah.
I just want this shit to be over.
Also, shout out to the people that just kept posting videos of them like just eating food.
Yeah. Literally, like
the world is burning.
I almost posted a story about it, but I'm just like, you know what? There's no point because I don't want to talk about this with, if someone's with these people, I don't want to talk to them about it, right? And like if someone wants to start sending me all this shit about why they agree with me, I still don't want to fucking talk about it. I just want the shit to be over with, so I can just. We're dealing with COVID. I don't want to deal with this other shit.
Well, now as an audience, it's because hopefully people are getting smarter to all this other bullshit. We have to be smart enough now to look at the information that's given to us and always question it first. Mm-hmm. Now this is just the reality. Like for example, in South Pasadena,
the vaccine.
In South Pasadena, there was this thing that was kind of popping off. There was this video of two cops that put a bag over this young black man's head and dragged him into a police car, right?
Wait, this was in South Pass?
This was in South Pass.
That was a couple months ago.
Right. So for me, my trigger thing is to always be upset, when I hear about this stuff, specifically because of what was going on in the country at the time. And I looked at the video and I was like, something's off here. Like what is this really about? And I saw this bag that was being put over the head. And I saw that the bag didn't look like just like a regular bag. It looked like something very specific that the police were. It was a spit bag. What this guy was doing. So this guy got arrested because he beat the shit out of somebody. I think it was like a woman or something like that, and beat the shit out of her. So they were looking for this guy and they were arresting him because he fucking assaulted and beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, right.
And so they put the bag over his head because he knew it was COVID. So he started spitting in the officers' faces.
Yeah.
So they put a spit bag on him. But the first thing that you read on everything is like, see what they're doing to black men. This is what I was like. Yes, we do see it. This is not that case. This guy beat the shit out of somebody and started spitting in these cops' faces, and it's a spit guard. So, they had to put out a statement. It's like, hey, we're doing our job. This guy was spitting in these officers' face. It's COVID right now, so we put a spit bag over him. He can breathe perfectly fine. It's mesh in the front. It just prevents spit from coming out.
That's the issue with those videos, and that's why obviously it's terrible that it happened, but that's why it was so good that someone started recording that George Floyd thing from the beginning.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because then people will put out these videos like that where it's literally the last couple seconds of this guy getting the bag on his head and thrown in his car. That's all we have. So then it's, he got this, but there's no video of it before of him, beating up someone, them arresting him for that type of shit, right? But yeah, it's like, that's the thing. It's like, I always want to, when I see stuff or I hear stuff about that, I always want to see everything first before I start just going off on it, right?
Because the person who posted that, and once again, people know I'm like pro BLMs, but the person who posted that only posted it because they wanted attention.
Yeah,
They didn't do it. They knew what happened. They knew that he beat up somebody out in the street. They knew that he was spitting in these cops' faces. But that person specifically knew that I can get attention and people are going to pat me on the back, so I'm going to record this.
Right.
So
it's annoying.
And that's annoying. It's like we're already dealing with so much shit. We don't need your lies.
Yeah,
and that's where the whole fake news shit starts, right?
You're
spreading fake news.
It's like,
that's where it comes from.
It's always the end goal. What was the end goal of this? Like people were going to find out. And now that you did this bullshit, there's other people who have real problems. They're going to be connected to your bullshit.
Of course,
now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the fucking, what is the wolf that cried sheep or whatever?
Yeah, my man educated.
It's like the sheep that. It's like the animal that said, "Oh, she's got one animal."
Hey, yo, my man got a stroke. My man had a stroke on this podcast.
Wait, which one is it? Is it sheep that cried wolf? What'd I say? Wolf that cried sheep?
The boy that cried wolf.
All right, the sheep that cried boy. But it's like that, right?
Oh shit was too funny,
Hey,
man.
see, hey, this is what happens when you get kicked out of school, you know? Damn, man. But no, but that's for real though.
James
That's like
Cody over here, bro.
Mama John, but Dad, I want dang Mama Dad. Yeah, but no, but for real, that's kind of what it is, right? They keep fucking faking it that and then at some point, no one's gonna believe you.
Yeah,
so
right.
when shit actually starts to fucking happen, it's just gonna be like, oh, whatever, it's just another fucking dumb story.
Because what
When
would
it's-
happen to that dude in high school if a real New York game killed his whole family?
know,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, we don't believe you, guy.
Fuck you,
Fuck
bro.
up,
Family's
dude.
dead.
Fucking New York guys. This guy again.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my God.
It's just sad though. It's sad to see all this shit happening. To me, the biggest thing is like we have COVID right now. We have something that we need to really worry about, and then we got all this other bullshit going on. It's like, bro, can we just focus on one? And then my boy Dr. Dre just had a brain. Like we have so much shit that we got to worry about right now. And then we have
Dr. Dre's brain exploded, huh?
Damn,
no,
out of
those
nowhere,
shits
huh?
are scary. I had a client that happened to, and it was he almost died from it. And you know,
Brain aneurysm. It's a blood clot in your head.
Blows
Yes.
us.
First done.
and it was random. I saw him the day before, the night before we trained. He was perfectly fine, 100%. We did our whole workout. Was perfectly fine. I was supposed to see him on that Friday. I saw him Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Thursday night comes around. I get a call from his wife telling me what happened. And I didn't, I'm dumb. I don't know what the fuck a brain aneurysm is. So I'm just like, oh, fuck, okay.
You're like, congrats.
I'm like, oh, shit. Hey, shout out to him. I said, what's up, then? But like,
He's dying, you asshole.
but so she tells me, and I kind of just get off the phone. I'm like, okay. And then I had to Google it. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, this is like for real thing. And he almost died from it. But those shits are scary. But
Yeah,
Dr. Dre's good.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he
Yeah.
got money, dude.
Yeah, he's got the
when
best.
you got money, you fine, dude.
Yeah.
That shit's scary
you're
though.
fine.
Like that guy, my client, I don't, obviously he doesn't train we don't train anymore. But he can't really walk the same anymore. And it kind of like messed him up a little bit.
Hell
Like,
yeah,
he had to
it's
relearn
serious.
how to walk.
I'm scared about that shit, dude.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to. My New Year's goals this year is stretching and mobility, baby.
Nice.
My
Yeah.
fucking
Fuck yeah.
knee finally feels good enough where I could jog now.
Nice.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah.
I started doing this knee mobility bullshit, rehab. I finally started to rehab.
Ooh, shit.
Rehab. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
My
you know
boy
what I'm
taking
saying?
care of himself
For that first
Shit.
time. Rehab hurts, dude.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
That shit
sucks.
fucking hurts. I did not like it, but now like I gained probably it's almost back to where it was before. Still fucked up, but that normal fucked up that it was.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you just got to make sure you take it easy now, just because it's good. Don't go off
I know.
100%.
I'm still stretching and shit,
Do you
but
stretch every day?
every day now. So I'm
Yeah.
rolling out every day, doing the
good.
little rehab
That's
shit.
good, man.
Now I'm
Yeah.
trying to make sure that I stay
You have
flexible.
any New Year's resolutions?
I've been actually stretching too. Bro, I couldn't touch my toes for shit.
really.
And I was like, fuck that. Like, I got to be able to touch my toes. So I've been stretching every day. I started meditating too.
I can kind of like put my fingers
Damn,
under my
meditating
toes.
is the hardest thing for me, man.
It's really hard.
Like to empty your mind and just not think.
I don't think I'm good at it, but I've just been like, I've just been doing it.
It's like,
Bro, I
Pat,
can't.
get your fucking hand off your dick. You're not meditating. You're jacking up.
They're like, this meditation feel bomb. This meditation feel kind of good.
Just come right on the spot.
I couldn't meditate, bro. Like,
Bro.
I just can't. Like, I can't. Number one, I can't stop moving. So if I have to sit in a spot and just sit there and go, hey, this shit, I won't be able to do it. And just my mind,
But that's the thing is,
can't.
there's different kinds. So
Okay.
like, obviously the objective is to clear your, like, just be, right? But that's like, that takes, I feel like years to get to that point, right?
Yeah.
Or months, whatever. It takes time. But I think like what I've been doing is just trying to just breathe and like count my breaths to like 20 and like knowing my shit's gonna veer off like 100%, but like just being like, okay, my shit veered off, come back to the breath and just keep going till I get to 20.
Yeah.
That alone, and it takes me like 10 minutes to just get to 20. But that alone kind of helps me like when I'm talking, sometimes you're talking to people and like you just kind of like zone out or you're just not there. You're doing something, you zone out.
I'm like-
I can like snap back and be like, oh shit, I'm not there. I should be here. And it like helps me. It does help me refocus and it kind of makes me feel like good in general.
Yeah.
So
You
like
can't
throughout the day, I feel good.
Can't underestimate a good ass breath. Like, you know what I'm
What'd
talking
you
about?
Yo, Pat.
Like, bro, you can't
Hey, Pat, I don't even know what to say, bro. Like, I'm kind of
can't-
like,
I'll
I don't
repeat
even
it,
know
right?
what the fuck this guy just said right now. My man looked directly into the windows of my soul.
Like he just delivered it, dude. Like,
Hey, bro, I thought I was delivering heat fire.
dropping knowledge, bro. Like,
And I tell David, like, he gonna be like, and he's like,
bro, the confidence in which you said that, like you just handed you the 10 Commandments, bro. Like, you're like,
bro, it's like I did something cool and I'm expecting them to be like, yeah, and they're both just like, I'm like, oh shit. But hey, let me
direct with his big old eyes. David, you know what I'm talking about. And I look at him like you're the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met in my life.
Hey, but let me give us some clarity on this, right?
Yeah.
See, you can't underestimate a good ass breath, right? And that's what I mean. Because like I have real bad anxiety, right? Sometimes to the point where it feels like I'm always like somebody's just always grabbing me, right? Like I can't like or like, you know, when you're in a sauna and you just get to that point where you're like, ugh, like uncomfortable. Like that just happens to me sometimes. Or like I just feel so uncomfortable. I can't do it. But then I have these things where I just go, and then like everything calms down. Yeah. So that's what I meant. Like you can't, like the breathing technique, right? You're counting your breath. That's what I mean. Hey D, you can't underestimate a good ass breath, dude. Oh shit, my God, bro. When I looked at dude, he had that face where he's like, like he was trying to understand what the fuck I just said. That shit was funny. That's what I mean, bro.
That shit like it's common knowledge. It's not common knowledge, bro.
Hey, can't underestimate good breath, bro. Hey, that's a shirt now. You know, underestimate good breath. Yeah, but that's what I mean, though. Like, because you were talking about the breathing. Like, dude, there's so many times where I just.
That honestly, silence was the funniest part, dude.
I'm like, shit, bro. I thought I
look in his eyes, bro. The look in your eyes was just like,
you know what? Someone tries to sound real smart, but they nailed it. I was trying to, bro. In my head, that was a jackpot, bro. I was like, "Why watch? I'm about to hit him with some."
In the Breakfast Club, where Charlamagne the God was interviewing this rapper Kevin Gates. He was looked at Kevin Gates, and Kevin Gates was talking about how when he fucks his girl or whatever, he does whatever, right? Because you know when you connected with somebody, you do shit that you probably wouldn't think that you do. And then Charlamagne the God looks at Kevin Gates and he goes, "Hey man," he goes, "that's why I eat ass instead of pussy because it's way cleaner." And then the room gets silent. He goes, "Whoa."
Wait, Charlamagne said that?
Charlamagne the God said that. He goes, "That's why I eat ass." And everybody's like, "The fuck?"
Yeah, bro.
That shit was way too funny, man.
I got hot after that one.
Well, everybody, that wraps up this episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. My man said some ridiculous shit today.
Hey, make sure you take your breaths in and out, baby.
And we the one drinking. Alex is sober.
Hey, this Pellegrino be slotting, kind of. Yeah. And that one. Whatever that one says. I don't know what that means.
Aranciata.
That's Nancy San Pellegrino.
It's not Spanish. I don't know what it is.
It's Italian.
The sheep called wolf, bro.
Yeah, sheep called wolf, baby.
It's like shit.
Well, you can find Alex at Lift God on all of his tags. Follow him on Twitch. He's actually pretty good from what I hear from people who leave comments.
And also because David released the gaming podcast, I've had, so thank you, number one, because I've had over like 200 new followers on it.
Hell yeah.
But also,
that's what's up.
Everybody, where's David? Where's David? Where's David? Where's David?
I gotta get a new PC.
Every day, where's David? Where's David? Where's David? Where's David?
We try, but it's hard.
I know we're trying to end this, but even real quick, and I saw people comment on the last one, which is true. I think that you could do Twitch because Twitch isn't only for video games.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah, like they do the cooking. Yeah, I mean, David is busy. I mean, y'all just saw Ina just released the show on Netflix. You can find it on all your Netflix subscriptions.
You know what the funny shit is? Like, whenever I see him play video games, right? Like, I just be seeing people dying, and I don't know how. That's why I get nervous. They're like, "Hey, kill shot." I'm like, "How you kill them? Who died?
What happened?"
Yeah. I can't even see the people who died. I just see these numbers that pop. I'm like, "Did you shoot that person?"
Yeah. But no, yeah, it was cool. People want you, so you heard it here, guys. So everybody keeps asking me.
It's just gonna be me cursing all the time.
Genius Brain on Twitch.
That's all I do. I have it to where if you're new to my stream, you gotta accept that this is a mature stream.
Oh, and shout out to the people who got hella mad at me too. They're like, "David, you don't understand about gaming because you don't understand the art and the interest." And I just wrote back, "All right, I don't care."
I saw people say it's not Twitcher. I'm like, bruh,
who cares?
Who cares, bro?
Who just gets playing?
Who fucking cares, bro? Just playing the fucking video game.
Well, you can find Patrick at patrick.t.riley at Instagram.
Yep.
And we will see you all next time, every Thursdays and Sundays, baby. Peace.
Peace.